Have you ever heard of an empire that stretched from Central Asia all the way into the heart of India? A realm that connected the great civilizations of Rome, Persia, and China? This is the story of the Kushan Empire, and the man who started it all, a visionary leader named Kujula. His story isn't just about battles and conquests. It's about uniting different cultures, fostering trade, and laying the groundwork for a golden age. Imagine a world 2,000 years ago. The mighty Greco-Bactrian kingdoms in the north were crumbling. Nomadic tribes were sweeping across the vast plains of Central Asia. It was a time of chaos, but also a time of incredible opportunity. From this whirlwind of change, one man emerged with a bold vision. His name was Kujula. We don't know the exact year he was born, but historians believe it was around the year 0180. He was the chief of one of the 5 major tribes of the Yuezhi people, a powerful nomadic confederation. But Kujula wasn't content with just being a tribal chief. He saw a bigger picture. He dreamt of uniting the fractured tribes and building something that would last for generations. Around the year 30 AD, Kujula Kadphises began his ambitious campaign. He didn't just conquer the other 4 Yuezhi tribes. He united them. He forged alliances, showed his strength, and proved he was a leader they could all follow. This was the birth of the Kushan Empire. Kujula was no longer just a chief. He was the first Kushan king, a Yabgu of the United Tribes. This monumental unification under his rule marked the beginning of a new dynasty that would change the course of history in this part of the world, with the Yuezhi tribes united behind him. Kujula Kadphises turned his gaze south, towards the wealthy and strategic lands of what is now Afghanistan and Pakistan. Around 40 AD, his armies swept into Bactria, a region rich in Hellenistic culture, left behind by Alexander the Great's successors. He captured the city of Kabul, a major crossroads on the ancient trade routes. This was a pivotal moment. By taking Kabul, Kujula not only gained immense wealth, but also positioned his new empire at the very heart of the Silk Road. Kujula was a brilliant strategist. He understood the importance of symbolism and legitimacy. As he conquered these new territories, he didn't just impose his own rule. Instead, he skillfully blended different cultures. His early coins are fascinating. On one side, you might see his portrait, styled like a Yuezhi. On the other, you'd find the image of a Greek king he had defeated, like Ermahus. This wasn't just copying, it was a clever political statement. He was showing the local people, who were used to Greek rulers, that he was the rightful successor, a new power that respected their past. He called himself King of Kings, a title borrowed from the powerful Persian, and this was another strategic move, declaring his imperial ambitions to the world. He was building an identity for his empire that was multicultural and multi-ethnic, a fusion of nomadic, Greek, and Persian traditions. This unique blend would become the hallmark of the Kushan civilization. His ambition didn't stop there. After consolidating his power in the north, Kujula Kadphises pushed further south into the Indian subcontinent. Around the year 60 AD, his forces crossed the formidable Hindu Kush mountains and entered Gondar, a region famous for its unique style of Greco-Buddhist art. The Kushans under Kujula defeated the Indo-Parthian kingdoms that controlled the area. This expansion brought the Kushans into direct contact with the rich cultures of India, including the burgeoning Buddhist faith. This interaction would have profound consequences. While Kujula himself seems to have followed a mix of local beliefs, his successors would become great patrons of Buddhism. The stability and wealth his empire brought to the region allowed art and religion to flourish. The famous Gondharan sculptures, which depict Buddhist figures with Greek-inspired realism, reached new heights under Kushan rule. Monasteries were built, and Buddhist teachings spread along the trade routes the Kushans protected. In a way, Kujula Kadphises, perhaps unintentionally, became a key figure in the spread of Buddhism across Asia. Think about the world he was operating in. To the west, the Roman Empire was at its peak under emperors like Claudius and Nero. To the east, the Han dynasty in China was a colossal power. And right in the middle was Kujula's Kushan Empire, acting as the crucial link. Gold and glassware from Rome traveled east, while silk and spices from China and India traveled west. The Kushans controlled these routes, grew incredibly wealthy from the trade, and facilitated an unprecedented exchange of goods, ideas, art, and beliefs. Kujula Kadphises was not just a warrior, he was an empire builder in the truest sense. He didn't just conquer land, he created a system. He established a new political order, minted a currency that was accepted across vast distances, and provided the security needed for international trade to thrive. He took a chaotic collection of nomadic tribes and forged them into a sophisticated, cosmopolitan empire. Kujula Kadphises lived a long and impactful life. According to historical records, he reigned for many decades and died around the year 8 at the ripe old age of about 80. He had laid a rock-solid foundation. He passed on a powerful, unified, and prosperous empire to his son, Vima, who would continue his father's expansionist policies. Vima and his successor Vima Kadphises would push the Kushan influence even deeper into India, reaching as far as the city of Mud. They would formalize the empire's administration and introduce a standardized gold currency that would be used for centuries. The peak of the empire would come under the legendary King Kanishka, but it was all built on the legacy of one man, Kujula Kadphises. So why is his story so important? Because it reminds us that history is often shaped by visionary individuals who see opportunity in chaos. Kujula Kadphises wasn't born into a great empire. He built one from scratch. He was a master of both military strategy and cultural diplomacy. He understood that true power comes not just from conquering people, but from uniting them. His reign marks a turning point in Asian history. He bridged the gap between East and West, creating a melting pot of cultures that produced stunning art and helped spread major world religions. The Kushan Empire he founded became a center of civilization, a beacon of stability and prosperity in an often turbulent world. The next time you see a piece of Gandharanat or read about the ancient Silk Road, remember the story of Kujula Kadphises, the nomadic chief who became a king of kings, the unifier who laid the foundation for one of the most fascinating and influential empires in history. His journey from a tribal leader on the steppes of Central Asia to the founder of a mighty empire is a timeless tale of ambition, vision, and the power to change the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe for more journeys into the past, and let me know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next video.